How's the bacon, did you say?
Oh, what a fantastic hit!
Roy Keane on Haaland.
Here's Sancho.
Aguero! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again.
Oh, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gunning along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races, 'twas on the 9th of June.
Hello and welcome to the Prawn Sandwich Podcast. I am Nathan Cupid and I am, as usual, joined by Jamie Jackson and Dylan McKenzie.
Morning.
And we are today joined by Dylan's cousin, Mr. Connor Massey. How are you doing, sunshine?
All good, lads. Glad to be on. Glad to be on.
Thanks for coming on, mate.
Probably your first and last Geordie, depending on how this goes.
We've all held back from wearing Sunderland tops today on the chat.
Now we had one more when it come on, didn't we? But Tom,
Just trying to sort out dates.
aye.
So are you all three of you Sunderland fans, eh?
Yeah.
Nate supports Villa, West Ham, Leeds, Sunderland.
Yeah. Well, so do I. So do I. Now that I'm how bad Newcastle are doing.
Nah, we all are. But we just like classic shirts, and Nate loves Johnny Woodgate. So
Right, quality.
there's a bit of a rivalry going on the pod. Another win from last night. Me and Jay are in the Neil Warnock side, and Nave's in the Woodgate
Some
side.
player, some player, mind. Some player.
Absolutely.
He was a hell of a defender. Made of glass. Shame.
Right, just before I got into Newcastle, we'll congratulate the North East team getting to the Peter Trophy final last night.
Yeah, at time of recording, of course, because this will come out after a
Aye.
couple of weeks after. So
Now, I'd also use though. The only thing I liked about it was pretty much North East lads sending them to the final. Ledbetter scoring the winning pen,
I was just a Ledbetter.
especially with all the stuff he's gone through with mental health. Like that was quality to see.
It's mad that, because I was saying to you, Dill, the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was saying, I can't believe, I checked your squad and I went, I can't believe he's still playing. How the hell? Just because I just remember being a kid, you know what I mean? I remember him playing for Sunderland as a kid. It was mad, but no, fair play.
No, he's done all right this season. To be fair, when he plays in a three, he's all right. He cannot run for shit.
He's not got the legs to play in the team. He's not got the legs for a team now.
But like when we went to pens, you like, yeah, missing this. He's got it.
Nailed on. He took that extra second to calm himself down.
Quick happy birthday to Roberto Baggio, 50 today.
Aye.
Nate with a bold statement this morning that he's the greatest Italian footballer of all time.
He is. Simple, he is.
So quick question, boys. Are you agreeing with that or are you going with someone else?
I'd go with someone else.
I'm Tommy.
I'd go with someone else.
Not a chance. He won a Ballon d'Or. But he hasn't won one.
Did you ever play his free kick game on the PlayStation 1 as well?
Yeah.
Quality game.
Is any Italians for Newcastle? Oh, Santon, wouldn't he?
David Santon. Mixed reviews on him. I actually liked him. He was very much one of them fullbacks, though, much better going forward than defending. But I actually liked Santon.
Did Pistoni play for Newcastle?
He did, aye. Yeah, he did, mate, yeah.
Santon's pure pissing me off on Football Manager for Roma. Done too much wages, man. Can't shift them. Right, we'll start with Newcastle then. Like regular listeners know, we're all Sunderland fans, but we wanted to get a Newcastle fan on for a while just to show we're not totally biased and ridiculous. So, earliest memory supporting Newcastle, Connor?
My earliest memory, it would have to be. It's not really a memory as in watching them play or anything like that. It's a strip. It's a strip that we had. It's my first strip that I remember having, and it's the strip from. I think we wore it from like 97 and 99. It had like the gold trim on the neck and around the arms, and it had Adidas across the middle written in gold.
Yeah.
And then it had the kind of
Did
shield.
it have like a circle neck?
Yeah, and on the back it had a kind of shield with the name and number on the shield kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I had, obviously, in Newcastle, not so much anymore because I've got Joe Linton wearing it, but when you were a kid, it was number 9, you know what I mean, and your name or Shearer, you know what I mean. So that's my earliest memory, having that strip with number 9, Connor, on the back. And to be honest, you know, it's probably still one of my favourite strips, if not my favourite, actually, to be honest.
They're the best for me, because when me and you were talking about the other day, and then you said it was like your first kit, and I was like, oh, remember my first kit? Mine was don't know if you lads remember it. Mine was the blue away kit with the red and white round the thing,
Like the hoop thing.
and then I went and looked on this poster I've got, and like back then, man, when you had like a kit for 2 seasons, not four different kits a season. Like
Yeah, exactly.
I've still got my first Sunderland top, and because I was like pure fat when I was little, it still fits me. So it's probably too big for us now. Like 22-year-old.
Yeah, dude.
Don't know where mine went. Anyway, I know personally this is an emotional one for you, but favourite memory supporting Newcastle?
Yeah, my favourite memory. Because was there another one? My favourite game, was that another question that you asked, or my favourite?
Well, next one was favourite match attended, but it'll be the same one.
These are the same sort of answer, lad. So it's basically, I don't know if I doubt you remember this, but it was when we played Man United in the FA Cup in 2005, the semi-final.
Yeah.
And Wembley was actually being built, so it was actually at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. And I don't know if any of you have been to that stadium, but wow, what a stadium! Like, you know, I was dead high up. I was with my granddad. I was dead high up, and being a kid, I actually felt it was just little dots, you know, running around on the pitch. I mean, we got absolutely slaughtered. But it was just, you know, being with my granddad and stuff like that, and the whole day. And I know you have been to away games. It's different, isn't it? Like, it's totally different. Like, everyone's together, you know.
Absolutely.
Much more of a buzz.
Yeah, you all go to the same pub. I remember being in the pub and you literally couldn't move. And I mean, like, literally you could not move. And it was just black and white. Do you know what I mean? It was just black and white. But no, I mean, I think we caught Ronaldo on the wrong day, because when I knew I was coming on, I watched the highlights back. Obviously, I knew the score and what went on, but I watched the highlights back. And the first one I clicked on without realising was just Ronaldo's highlights that game. Jeez, he just absolutely destroyed it. And put it this way, we're right back at the time with Stephen Kopp, and we're left back with Celestine Babayaro. So, you know, it wasn't going to go too well for it. Amiobi popped up with a quality goal. I don't know if you remember the goal, but Amiobi popped up with a quality goal. So no, it was more not the game, and it was just the whole event, you know, of being with all the other fans, and stuff like that. It was just, the game was, you know, what it was. We got battered, you know.
Was that the year they played Arsenal in the final?
Yeah, got beat on penalties.
Arsenal won on pens.
Yeah.
I think
Goals missed.
Scored against us again. Like I say, I watched the goals back. Scholes always scored against us, literally always. And in the semis, it was actually a header at front post. I thought, when does Scholes ever score like leaping headers from post, glancing header? You know what I mean? I just thought he couldn't make it up.
He scored against you in '99 as well.
He scored. I'm not joking. Like, all the games I remember going to for United, like United v Newcastle, he scored. I swear to God, he always. And so did Van Nistelrooy. But he scored against everyone, didn't he? But I mean, like, Ronaldo got 2 assists and a goal on the day, so I think it was a write-off when you're being marked by Stephen Carr instead of Stephen Babayaro. I think it's a field day, isn't it?
No, fair enough.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to current. We'll talk a bit more now about current, because I'm guessing in your 1 to 11 we'll probably have more classic stuff.
Aye.
Than
the current.
The recent players you've had. So current situation. I've got a few bullet points, like, lads, you can chip in if you want as well. I know I did the right for this, but we may as well start on the main man, since we had 3 years of watching him, Stevie Bruce.
Aye, God. I mean, obviously, I can't comment for when he was at Sunderland because I was, I don't follow yous like that. But I don't know, for yous, was it just predictable and just like the same? You know what you're going to expect every single game.
It was the same pattern every season as well. Never mind the game. Like, we'd have a semi-decent start, and then in the middle of the season, have like 3 months of absolute like torture. Not win a game for like 15 games, and then we'll have a reasonable finish.
Well, we funny enough, literally exactly what you said has happened to us on it this year. We started off not too bad. We beat West Ham and that. I'm thinking, decent this. You know what I mean? We're gonna be all right here. I like the look of Callum Wilson. I thought, but there's gonna be some goals here for like 100%. And then you get to December and we'll go 11 without winning, and it's just like. But like, in that time, and I say this to all my mates, it's like, it doesn't matter who you're playing. Like, Bruce lined up the same against Brentford in the Cup as he did against Man City the week after. It's like, as a manager, you want to be able to adapt and, play different styles against different kind of teams. And I just feel like we really can't do that. And when you come in the Premier League, when you're playing really good teams every single week, they know how you're going to play, they know how you're going to set up, and they can counter that. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's happened.
Callum Wilson screams Darren Bent for us. Like, he got a goal scorer, and he's hinged on that goal scorer, getting him out of trouble.
Literally, no, it is. And again, I don't expect you guys to be watching, but if you watch us, right, we play a really weird style. Like, we get the ball in good positions and we literally just look for the long ball or the nothing ball in behind to Wilson. And he's got the pace, but for me, that's how he's picking up these injuries, because every time he's trying to get on the ball, he's having to run in behind and beat a defender and shrug off 4 defenders to try and hold the ball up. Then when he gets the ball, there's no one for 40 yards around him. He's by himself, So I mean, what I will say as well, just on the Bruce thing, I think it's been married by total terrible performances, individual from players. Like, you've got Sean Longstaff, who, if you remember, a couple of years ago, he was going to Man United. We were getting 50 million for him. And then now, I'm being serious, he must have given us about 5-6 goals away this season, trying to play out from the back and trying to take players on the edge of his own box and things like that. So I do, as much as I do, I don't think Bruce is the man. I think it's boring. I think it's predictable. I do think it's alongside a lot of very, very poor individual performances as well.
Is his brother still playing?
Who?
Is it Matty?
Matty plays. Matty plays. Again, and I feel like I'm making excuses. We've been smashed with injuries this season, like really, really badly, and Matty's been out for most of the season. He came back in, got a game or two, and then he went back out of the team.
I didn't know if he'd been like loaned out or something.
No. He signed a new deal. He signed a new deal at the start of the season. Because he was, I don't know if you've seen, but he was linked to like Fiorentina or something. Udinese, that was it, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you, lads. I know who I'd be signing the deal with.
Just
the nicest son in Italy and stuff, you know what I mean? So
just on the injury thing, when Bruce, there's got to be something connected with that, because when he was in charge of us, we'd get horrific patches of injuries, and he'd rush players back before they were fit all the time. At one point, we didn't have a fit striker. After we sold Darren Bent, Jean got injured, Welbeck got injured, Campbell was injured, and we ended up playing Nedum Manure up front in a game. because we had no strikers, but he can't manage injuries and players at all.
No, and I tell you what, mate, I really, really feel for like your Isaac Hayden. Like, he's not by no means a really quality player, but he's your 7 out of 10 every game. Do you know what I mean? And he works his backside off from start to finish. And he's being used as just like a scapegoat. Like, he's being put right back. He's playing centre half. He's playing centre mid. He's going out onto the wings, and it's just like, I feel for the kid. I feel for the kid. Honestly, I do. I don't think he knows his job. And it's Bruce playing him in every single position. It's like, it's poor.
I'm really good at leaving because he wanted to leave as well, didn't he? That ain't gonna settle him down. Didn't he want to go back home?
He wanted to go back home. I think he's got I think his kids are still. Yeah, I think his kids are still in London or something like that. But that turned around. He withdrew his transfer request at the start of was it last summer or this summer? But anyway, it's just I'm sure he's happy to be getting game time, but it's as a player, I know you guys have all played, it's you didn't want to be playing right back, getting into it, and then you're playing centre mid, and then the next game you're centre half, and it's
I'm a very good bang average right back mind. I'll take that.
Aye, but I've seen you play centre mid as well. It's no good.
With that, then, if he was to go, because it looked like he was close. Personally, I don't think Ashley will ever get rid of him. But
I can't see it. The reason being is, and I'm not going to come on here and slag Bruce because I think he's had enough crap. He's having death threats and all sorts. Yeah, but I think he's there because he's a yes man. If I'm being completely honest, I think I remember when we signed Joe Linton, and I know he didn't sign him. He just taken the job. Do you know what I mean? But I remember he said in an interview, "Oh, we've signed that lad." Just didn't even know the players that were being brought to bring it. So for me, in terms of as well, because I know the takeover was something, but it has to happen for me because I don't think it matters who's in charge when we've got this hierarchy at the club, if that makes sense. I just think there's a poison in the club from the top, and like I say, I really don't think it matters who's in charge at the moment because by the sounds of it, they don't even decide who they sign. Do you get what I mean? Which was part of the reason why Rafa left. So.
Yeah. We'll go at the takeover then. Are the Saudis still interested, or is that dead?
You hear stuff. Obviously, we appealed in with the Premier League. Look, I'd be over the moon if that went through. These people that say oh, you're being Man City and da-da-da. I don't care, mate. If I'm winning the Premier League, and playing the Champions League football, I don't care, mate. Honestly, that's what I'm not bothered at all. I want to see my team winning trophies sometime in my life,
With the death money. With the death money.
Yeah. Trophies, isn't it?
I think people look too much into that stuff. If your club's getting bought, there's no way. There's no point me sitting on my couch and going, I don't like that because it's death money, and then not supporting Sunderland again. This French kid that's signing us, I don't know about him, but if he's a French billionaire, I don't give a shit.
I don't think anybody earns billions of pounds without without a certain amount of it being death money though. There's no billionaire that's morally sound. No way.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it's just things I always say this to Dylan. I think the Northeast, and not just Newcastle, I think Northeast in general are like the Premier League so against and the whole football league, just Northeast, the clubs and stuff, loads of examples. I'll be here all day, you know what I mean, if I started on them and stuff.
Well, I said to you the other week, we're in League One. We're not let's face it, the minute nobody gives a shit about us. We had to play a game on the same day that 10 of our players went down with COVID.
Yeah.
And Bristol City Charlton gets called off and only 2 of their players got it. And on the same day, it's exact
same happened to us. Exact same thing happened to us. Even daft things do you remember what was the goal when Man City scored the offside goal? It was clearly offside. I can't remember who it was against. When Rodri came. Yeah. And then Aston Villa the next game done it against us. Do you remember Shaw messed up a clearance and it dropped to Ollie Watkins, who was offside? I don't know if you remember this, but the exact same thing. Okay, he's clearly offside, Ollie Watkins. The ball drops to him. It came off Shaw, so he's not offside all of a sudden. Then they changed the rule the next day. And you just just typical. The next day they changed the rule that's now offside, and it's because I was texting Dylan now. Bill's going, "Is that offside?" I'm going, "I generally don't know, mate. I don't know the rule anymore. I don't know what's offside and what's onside." So yeah, just loads of things like that. But even the Burnley thing, when you talk about takeovers, and I know they haven't been taken over by a Saudi Arabian prince in a country, but you didn't hear anything. It just happened. It was just in the paper. Burnley have been taken over. and we're in the paper every single day for 6 weeks. They're talking about it on TalkSport. Jim White's got all these idiots on saying that, like, you know, they've murdered people, and it's just like, I don't know. I just think I think we're harshly done by. That's what I think.
The thing is, like Simon Bird, who's the chief sports editor of the Mirror, is a Newcastle fan. George Culkin of the Telegraph is a Newcastle fan as well. So there's journalists with high positions in national newspapers that are Newcastle supporters. So like, it kind of adds up as to why you'd see so many stories about it. But it was ridiculous the amount that like coverage it got, and there was like starting 11s being put up of like the world's best players of like
Mbappe. we already had Mbappe assigned, man. It was funny as hell. Funny as hell.
Do you think it could be done right though? At the end of the day,
Listen,
like they are stable. It's just the money's not getting spent in the right areas. Like, I think if it's done correctly, I think it could be a lot better than what it is. I'm not saying that they don't deserve to be taken over, but I think if it's done correctly, I think it could be a little bit more than what they are. You know what I mean? Because if he's not putting his hand in his pocket, it's just not going to the right places.
It's one of them, innit? With Ashley, it's like, you just hate him, and I totally understand it, but we're like, I'd fucking give everything to have Ashley as an owner.
Completely.
Look at us.
No, but you know what the thing is? There's so many Newcastle fans out there that go, he spent no money and everything like this. Mate, he spent a fortune, man. He's you know, he spent a fortune on signings, and everyone's still saying that he's never spent a penny. He's actually sorted our club out in terms of debt as well. He's put us level on that side of things, you know. So a lot of I totally agree with what you're saying. Of course, I don't want him, you know what I mean, and I don't think he should be in charge of the club. But people can't say he hasn't put money in, you know, and you know, there's loads of examples where you can give that. And I just think it was time a long time ago, but I just think it's time he needs to go.
Yeah,
it's just like, he's got no ambition to kick the club on. It's just been about like stabilizing and turning like a profit, basically.
Yeah.
Like I know, like the biggest like modern day football term used by fans of any club is like net spend, isn't it? It's net spend, but like they forget how much like gets spent on wages and stuff. Like when you got relegated under Rafa Benitez and Sissoko and Wijnaldum were sold, and it was like 50 million brought in, and then 50-60 million was spent on players like to get out of the championship, but they had the highest, like the 5th highest wage bill in the country at the time. Never mind, like just in the championship. I think fans forget about that. Like every fan of every club's guilty of that. Especially like, as I say, like the modern day net spend fan.
People think you get 50 million in, you get to spend 50 million. Like it just works like that.
I know.
It doesn't look good when like he's stopping takeovers and then like 2 days later he's buying like Debenhams and all that, you know what I mean? Like obviously it can't look good. I'm gonna sell the club. Actually no, I don't know that I'm not. And
he done something mad as well. Like he when all this was going on, he bought like massive amount of shares in John Lewis or something like that. Like, you know, just to like rub salt in the wound. You know, just
bought
like,
Top Man, hasn't he?
Was it? Yeah. So it's just
bought
like
Top Man.
Yeah.
He's bought another one.
I just bought Top Man.
Yeah,
like,
he bought DW, hasn't he? Like they're all now like Everlast gyms or something now. He just slapped the Sports Direct logo on top of it.
Well, lads, man, honestly, our stadium now, obviously, we've just got the massive Sports Direct like sign now, and it just looks absolutely ridiculous. Man. It's horrible. Man.
That was bad actually when he changed the name.
Yes.
SportsDirect.com at St James's Park Stadium.
Just disgraceful. Just absolutely disgraceful, isn't it?
That was like, it felt like every 3 months at that period of time he was doing something just to piss Newcastle fans off.
Yeah.
So that was around about the Joe Kinnear in as the director of football phase as well.
Hilarious, mate.
I will say though, like when Red Bull were reported buying us, I didn't give a shit as long as we were going to be called Red Bull Sunderland. Like,
I didn't care about that. Like,
look at Leipzig in Germany, I'll take that.
There's a bit of a difference between all the Red Bull franchises and having Sports Direct stickers splattered all over your stadium, though. It is.
Just a bit.
It's minging.
Just a bit.
Seeing that, see how like quick. I know it's off topic, but did you see how quick like Red Bull have changed Leipzig? You know, last night, no, 2 nights ago they played Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's the first time Dortmund's Jurgen Klopp's ever managed against Leipzig.
Is it?
Really?
Wow.
He only left Dortmund 5 years ago. That's how quickly they've like gone up the leagues. And
Well, isn't that Poulsen like the record scorer or record appearances, and like he's not even that good? Do you know what I mean?
I think it was Werner.
Was it?
Werner for a bit, and now they're playing. Who did he have up front last night? Danny Olmo. Like,
No wonder they hated in Germany.
Can you, I only know who that Danny. What was his surname again? Sorry.
Danny Olmo.
From our save on Football Manager in the first lockdown.
Oh yeah.
Because he was at like Dynamo Kiev or something, right? Like that Spanish lad, and he was unreal.
Smart mental man. Anyway, so you've like already kind of touched on the squad, so we'll go on to the big thing, which could hamper your takeover. After you beat Everton, I was like, right, that's it, that's them safe. But when Wilson went down,
Yeah.
Fulham have got 4 points back on you, only 6 points behind you now.
Yeah.
Do you still feel like you're safe, or are you a bit looking at Fulham thinking?
Oh no, I'm looking at Fulham 100%.
Because they've been right lately as well. To be fair to Parker,
They have.
They probably draw too many games, but they're looking all right.
Listen, though, they might have drew games, but they're still picking up points when we aren't. Do you know what I mean? So, that's going to be the real killer, I think, for us. We'll remain in fixtures of pretty hard as well. What we've got left.
I was going to say I've got your next few up here. So Man United on Sunday.
Yeah.
Wolves is now a big game considering how they've gone
Yeah.
bad. Then you can face Big Sam.
Yeah. Who stuff with. You know that. You know that.
And then you've got Villa, and I'll finish off with Brighton. That finishes, then that's the end of March.
But it's like the Sheffield game. Haven't won a game all season. I'm sat at home. I think I even texted you, Bill, and I said, guarantee you, I guarantee you their first win will be tonight. And what happened, it was. But again, it's like we let them do that. There was little glimpses when Leeds beat us. I don't think you watched, but the second half we brought St. Maximum on, and obviously St. Maximum's been out for months and months, and we did but I think it's just because he scares people, he runs at people, and 2-3 men, go to St. Maximum as soon as he gets the ball, which then releases obviously other players. But other than that, honestly, lads, I'm worried, definitely. I don't want to say it, but I don't think we're going down. But I think we're going to be in a fight, definitely.
So I would say, I love Big Sam, but I would say Sheffield United and West Brom a little bit. They're on 11 and 13. Then Fulham on 19 points, yourselves on 25, Brighton on 26, Burnley on 27. Yeah. And a team that kind of goes under the radar a little bit, I think, Palace are on 29. They're in a bit of free fall. Like they're a bit like you. They've lost Zaha. Yeah. Can't seem to do out.
Yeah.
I still think he's be all right.
I think they'll stay. I can't believe on social media I said they'd get a top 10 finish.
If Wilson was out for the season, I'd maybe think about it. But if you get him back for the run-in.
Honestly, though, I do think if we had a fully fit squad, I don't think there's been a game this season, where we've been able to start Wilson, Fraser, and St. Maximum, maybe one together. And I generally think, and I think we'd be in a much, much, much better position if we'd had people fit all season. And obviously, we've now lost Callum Wilson for 8 weeks. That's going to be an absolute killer for us.
Big blow, that
massive. And St. Maximum, I don't think he's fully fit yet. From coming back. Which is a massive, massive loss. Jamal Lascelles, I don't think he's a cracking player by any, but he's a leader, and that's something that we really miss when he doesn't play. Just a bit of leadership, someone directing people around. John Joe Shelby's captain when Lascelles doesn't play, and that just blows me mind. It just honestly, it just blows me mind that he's more captain when Lascelles isn't playing.
Could be Hayden, surely.
Well, of course it should. You know, your captain's meant to lead by example. And, you know, I think technically Shelby's our best player in terms of, you know, getting the ball, spraying the ball, link and play. But if you're playing a team and they say just mark Shelby, you know, like when we play Brighton, a perfect example, Basuma just doesn't leave Shelby, right? And he can't do a thing. He can't, you know, he can't get in the game when he's man marked.
Yeah.
But I do think as well, like I say, when we are missing him, I do think it's a loss because he does link stuff together and he can spray a ball, you know, and things like that. So yeah, I think we're missing quite a lot, and I think hindered with quite a lot this season. I do.
Like at the time of recording, the next lot of fixtures, yous are away to Man United and Fulham are at home to Sheffield United. If they can get a win there, then it will look quite.
Well, Burnley, Fulham drew, didn't they? Was it last night?
Last night 1-1.
Yeah, so that's good for us. I mean, obviously, again, we don't want Fulham picking up points, but that I think that's the best we could have wished for yesterday. So that worked quite well for us. And again, you know what? Honestly, I really wouldn't be surprised if we beat Man United on Sunday. Honestly, that's what, you know what I mean. I really wouldn't be surprised at all.
I think overall, you'll be safe.
Yeah,
That could be interesting though. You got Fulham last game of the season.
So I know. And Scotty Parker, you know, against his old club. I was a big fan of Scott Parker, like, you know, those. I think he was solid.
Josh Madger send you down.
Josh Madger, man. I swear to God. Yeah, you got two good goals the other night. Two good strikers goals. I liked it. Good goals.
Right. That's it for pretty much this season. Talked about really. Made a surprise quiz for you lads.
Do you need a pen and paper?
You'll need a pen and paper.
Right.
25 questions. Just to let Connor know, we've only had one guest to win a quiz.
Right.
It's
That was Steve.
the guests haven't showed up. It's normally me or Jay taking it, but
it's different, you know, when you're a guest. You feel a bit of pressure, man.
well, what I've done is I've done a quiz on the Tyne Weir derby.
I knew it was going to be that.
And I haven't just done it biased and Sunderland. I've done a few questions for each.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to sponsor T7 Clothing. That was Steve, the only one to win a quiz. Who owns that? But we'll start off with question 1. In arguably one of the worst days of my life, in the 5-1 loss to Newcastle, Newcastle only made one sub. But who came on for Shola Ameobi?
I should know this because, in fact, maybe we were in the pub and you left it like after 10 minutes. So
I left at 3-1.
Yeah.
I watched it at Brian Howe's, and I think I went outside for a tab when it was like 3-1. When it was 3-0, I came back in. It was like 5-0 or something. Or what? I was like, fucking hell.
It was the day after Halloween, wasn't it?
No, it was Halloween.
It was Halloween.
It was 3-0 when I left the pub, and the pub we were playing for at the time, Nate, you had to walk over the bridge to get home. That was a nice looking bridge on my way home. Like the notifications are coming through saying 4-0, and I was like, oh.
I was hanging. I was at the game. I was at level 7, so I was up in the gods, and I was absolutely hanging. But wow, what a day! That stumped me big time. That
I've got.
Yeah, I've just guessed here. Like,
well, I got to question 2. You know, think about it. In one of the best days of my life, in the 3-0 win under Gus Poyet, and I know you were there, Jay. Who won Sunderland's penalty, which was put away by Fabio Barini?
Oh shit! It's one of 2 players.
I'll let you know it was Vernon Anita who gave away the foul.
what was it?
But who won which Sunderland player won the penalty? I think Anita wasn't he a left back that day when he had that little stint at left back?
No, he was another Hayden. Him right back, left back, centre mid. That's tough. That
I'm just guessing like mad.
I didn't realise just how like up in the gods you are until I went to that game.
Yeah, it's scary.
It was
Isn't
in
it?
the away end. My legs were like jelly. It was minging. Because it's dead steep as well. It's dead steep as well when you get to the top.
Question number 3 then. The largest attendance between the two was in 1950. But what was the attendance? So I'll give you a little clue. It was Roker Park, where there was like stands with no seating. So and obviously 1950 there was no health and safety.
It's the most attendance ever, yeah?
Yeah, the largest attendance between the two was in 1950, but what was the attendance?
Do we have to get it bang on, or is it to the nearest?
I'm gonna give the closest. Whoever gets the closest to it, I'm gonna give the point to them. Right, question 4. In the history of the rivalry, both clubs have actually won the same amount of games against each other. But how many is that? So we both beat each other the same amount of times. We've actually drew 50 times, so it's quite even.
Wow.
I don't even think we're on there, right?
Oh, take a guess. Bloody hell, we didn't have if we're level on wins, we didn't have to do some clawing back in that 6 in a row period.
And then the final question. I can give you the players if you want, because Connor might not know ours. What is the combined fee for both clubs' record transfer fees? Do you want the players?
I don't know who they are, but you can say them. I'm happy if you say them.
So Newcastle's is Joe Linton, and Sunderland's is Didier and Dong.
Fuck off. Is it?
Thank you, David. Thank you, David Moyes.
Aye.
Where's he now?
And Dom,
Didier and Dong.
Yeah.
Somewhere in fucking France.
Yeah.
it's
French
like,
second division or something.
uh,
Left on a free. A record signing, then 2 years later left for Knicks.
Tell you what, mine scored an absolute worldie against Crystal Palace.
I did. Mine,
It's only
David
been-
Moyes dropped him for Darren Gibson because he wanted more Britishness in the middle of the park.
He should have been sacked for racism there. Like,
Then he threatened to slap a female reporter. Well, he didn't threaten to slap her, but you know what I mean. He should have said.
and now he's in the top four.
he plays for Dijon in the French Premier Division.
Is it right?
Get in mustard.
He left when he left us. He went to Gangam for free. Honestly, what a shot! Could have had Jan and Villa for 5-0. Fuck me. Right, that's the 5. I've got a tiebreaker in case it's a draw.
Yeah.
So, I'll mark his down.
Yeah.
So, in the 5-1 win for Newcastle, they only made 1 substitution, but who came on for Charlotte Amayobi?
I put Leon Best.
I'm sure he started, but I just put Andy Carroll, just guessed.
I put really one out there, Isco.
Oh, remember him? You're all wrong. It's bad boy Nile Ranger.
Oh, the power.
Oh man, that makes it even worse.
Did he have his surname tattooed on his temple then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell.
That few was surprised me though, because like to find it, I went in the stats that game. I totally forgot Bramble got sent off, which made it funnier.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know how. I can't. First half apparently.
I still drunk me. I can't remember that.
And then because we had Bruce in charge, Bruce's substitution to get us back into a back 4, he took El Mohammadi off for Asamoah Gyan.
Bruce Ball.
Sounds like
put another striker on. I was like, what the fuck?
We could have man down. Let's get a striker on.
Now Ranger coming from me. It was something daft as well. It was like the 82nd minute. So like Newcastle just played the same. Well, it wasn't like it was fucking hard for them, but played the same team for most of the game. Anyway, in the 3-0 under Poirier, who won the Sunderland penalty?
Bill Bardsley.
I put Jack Colback.
I put Adam Johnson.
Jamie's right. It's of course my hero, Phil Bardsley.
Was Adam Johnson even playing for you then? I don't even think
he played the ball through to Bardsley. He did like a little dink in between two players. Bardsley ran onto it and he just took him out.
Yeah.
Johnson scored that game.
He scored that game, and hit the post.
Yeah.
You know the game where Colaccini gave the penalty away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did he foul? Just out of curiosity. I'm just.
Defoe.
Was it Defoe? Yeah.
No, was it Fletcher?
Defoe played the ball through and he took Fletcher out.
Never a penalty, by the way. Never a penalty, by the way.
What a pen. What a pen.
Fletcher doesn't go down easy.
That was the one that got declared a false win, wasn't it, by certain members of the Geordie faithful?
The true Geordie. Come on.
False win. I'm going to treat it'll be a false win.
Right, so I'll give the closest person the point for this one. The largest attendance between the two was in 1950. What was the attendance?
66,000 I've put.
I put 56,000.
I went for 77.
Oh, Jamie Jackson takes it. 68,004.
Oh.
Get in.
That is a lot. Imagine the fucking standing in that. Jesus Christ.
I've been minging. Broker Park wasn't big either, was it?
You could smoke it. You smoke in the stands in them days and all.
So number 4, in the history, they have both won the same amount of games against each other. How many is that?
66.
23.
Oh, I put 22.
Connor Massey takes the point. You think there's only been that many derbies?
When you said 50 draws, I thought that was what got me.
53 wins each.
No.
53 wins. Oh, fucking hell.
53 wins each and 50 draws in 156 games.
Okay, I didn't. I suppose that's like 70 seasons, is it?
Haven't played each other in a while. That's my excuse.
Right, so what is the combined fee for both clubs' record transfer fees, Joe Linton and Didier and Dong?
I put 53.8 million.
I put 62 million.
I put 65.
Right, I'm going to have to do some working out between Jay and Nath.
Damn. I had no idea what Ndong was. Obviously, I know Joe Linton was 40, but I just had no idea what Ndong was.
What did you say, Jay?
53.8.
Obviously, Jay's put a point in there, like.
Nath, what did you say?
62.
I could just be really bad at maths, so it could be quite obvious. No, it was close, actually. Jay takes it. He was 3-point-something million out. The combined fee for the two, this is on what we use normal on the podcast, transfermarket.com. Joe Linton was 39.6 million and Didier and Dong was 18 million with a combined 57.6 million pounds.
Is that how much they said in Dong?
That is absolutely 18 million, because when it was his add-ons, wasn't it?
Oh, fuck it.
We signed him for initial 13, but his add-ons went like up.
He got absolutely rinsed by Mike Jones at Brunton Park.
That is a shocking amount of money for two really bad footballers.
I know.
Newcastle number 9, man.
Really expensive. It's a lot of bleach in the hair, though.
That's what, you know what's funny? I was just about to say he's more bothered about his hair than he is for playing about Newcastle. Honestly, he is. Honestly, it's shocking.
So Jay takes it 3-1.
Fair play. Good quiz, that mate.
Aye. The tiebreaker question, just for a bit of fun, was the last time that both teams were in the Premier League together was the 14-15 season. What was the combined points total of clubs?
67.
82 or something, I know.
77.
Fuck off. Bang on, 77.
Get in.
Get in.
Both finished 15th and 16th. Newcastle had 39 points. We had 38.
Quality. Quality.
Right, lads. So that was just a little bit of a game. We'll move on now to Connor's favourite players, 1 to 11.
Can I just get my laptop charger quickly? Is that all right?
Yeah, aye.
Give us 2 seconds. I just need to get this charged.
No bother.
Oh, heck. Enjoying this, eh? Considering
it's been alright considering it's Newcastle. I haven't minded it.
So we'll do some plugging because I'm not editing this.
You've got like 2 weeks to edit it. You'll have to edit it a little bit.
Oh no! Editing the video is the hardest bit. Like I'm still trying to sort out FMC2. You know what I mean?
Oh, not the video. Can you not edit the audio?
Oh yeah, I can edit the audio, but
that's what I thought you meant. I'll fuck the video. YouTube's
okay.
shit.
We're raw for YouTube. Raw.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Sorry.
There's only a couple of
on
people.
Instagram, Twitter, and wherever you get your podcasts. Like and share. Leave comments.
Give us a review. Unless it's shit, then don't.
There's only a few people in the world that have some of these. If you've got one, you should consider yourself lucky.
We're in lockdown, man. We can't distribute them. We'll get a few more followers, and then we'll do some prizes.
We'll get a deal. We'll get some cups and get some merch.
Cup, and then have a rush around to see if there's anything that can donate to a prize fund.
Right, I'm good to go, lads. Cheers.
Right, so just so people know, when we do these, it's the person's opinion favourite player. It's not so much the best. Like we've had a few where like we've done 1-11s and well, he's not better than Zidane. Well, yeah, but I didn't say that. It's Connor's personal favourite of who he's watched at Newcastle. So if any Newcastle fans watching don't agree, then come on and do your own 11.
They will, mate. They will, because we haven't had that many good. So they will.
As long as Johnny Wood gets centre half, I'm happy.
A few minutes on each player. We'll start with obviously what formation have you gone with?
Well, I'm going for something a bit different just because I wanted to fit my favourite players in.
3-5-2.
I went for 3-4-1-2.
Oh. No,
yeah.
That's Italian as fuck. I love that.
Yeah. To be honest, it's just so I can fit who I want.
That's you this season.
Yeah. I mean, this team here be winning Champions Leagues, lads. I'm being serious.
We'll start with the keeper then.
Yeah, probably my easiest choice out of, apart from the manager. My easiest choice for me, Shea Given. What a keeper!
Yeah.
What a keeper!
Hands down, innit?
Aye, no doubt about it. You know, a lot of people were sour when he went to Man City, and I was buzzing from him, to be honest, because he was going to go and win trophies, wasn't he, and stuff like that. Quality keeper. Could I give a little shout out for Stevie Harper, just because I just think what a loyal servant of the club. Literally a number 2 keeper for 20 years of his career.
Easy life.
And stayed. So no, but definitely Shea Given. Some of his saves, unbelievable.
He always turned it on in derbies when he was the keeper. It was fucking nigh on impossible to score against him when it was a derby game.
Yeah, so that was dead easy. That, to be honest, that Shea Given was straight in there, straight in.
He had a season at Sunderland in the 90s.
He did. He went on loan, didn't he, from us?
I'm sure. I might be wrong, but I'm sure he still has our club record for most clean sheets in a season.
Really?
Wow.
I think he does. I think I seen that the other day.
There's some people like when he. Do you mind that save where he saved a Dabiza's own goal with his head?
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
He saved it with his head.
There's a certain save, and I can't remember who it's against. It's bugging us now. It may even be against you, but it's like flying in the top corner, and it's just dead acrobatic. He like puts his. It's surreal.
That might have been a Niall Quinn header in a 1-1 draw at the Stadium of Light in the 2000.
He like tips it over the bar with like his left hand, and it's just
unreal. Like.
Yeah, he was quality. He was quality.
Patrice Carter and Andy O'Brien scored in that game.
Andy
O'Brien.
So 3 centre halves, I'm guessing. Yeah. Right. Just start with any of them.
This, I'll be honest, this was the toughest part, I think, for me to decide, because we haven't had many great centre halves at all, if I'm being completely honest. So this was a real tough one. My first one was the obvious Jonathan Woodgate. He was straight in there, Woody.
Oh, fucking hell, here we go.
No, he was quality though. Like, in all seriousness, he was quality. When he was fit, he was absolutely quality. and obviously to go on to Real Madrid. And I've got bang into me podcast now myself, and I love watching. I don't know if any of us watch like stories on Thomas Gravison and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely hilarious, and he always talks about Woodgate when he was at Real Madrid, that he was really good banter and he really helped him out and stuff like that. So yeah, Woodgate was straight in there for me.
Class.
After that was tough. It was tough because I don't think we've had, like I say, like really good players, if you know what I mean, in there. And I mean, I went Colaccini as my other one, and that was really just for his, like, how long he served at the club, if you know what I mean.
He wasn't bad either. Like,
no, he wasn't. He was an international player. You know what I mean. He wasn't bad at all. But I mean, you go through some of what we've had, mate. Boom Song, Kasapa. You know, it's like, Kasapa. You know, it's like we've had some absolutely horrendous players at the back.
I remember Boom Song. Rangers had got him for a free, hadn't they, in the summer, and then Newcastle paid $8 million for him about 4 months later in the January.
Yeah,
he went on. Who did he go on to play for? Juve, wasn't it?
Juve.
With Juventus, I mean Melberg.
Yeah. Only good thing about him was, like, every time he won a header or a tackle, the whole crowd just went boom. that was the only good thing about Boom Song in the team.
Features heavily in goal 1.
I was going to say, I'll wait for Dave to mention goal. Want to listen to our review of Goal? It's in season 2.
Did you see what just happened, by the way, the other day, just on Goal? There's a player who started in the Mexican league called Santiago Muñez.
18-year-old.
18-year-old. He's called Santiago Muñez. And the Newcastle Twitter, like social media, they tweeted, like, you know, the eyes as if to say, like, watch this space sort of thing.
Get him. Love that.
Last centre half then.
This was real tough. Real tough. I went for Nikos Dabizas, as you probably know why. You know what I mean? It's just for literally his goal against you. That's the only reason I really went for it. It was a tie-up between him and another player that I actually really liked, was Aaron Hughes. Hughes. Yeah, it was a tie-up between him. Dabizas nicked it just purely on that. But Aaron Hughes was solid, mate. A real solid player. So yeah, purely on that, went with Dabizas. So that's me 3 centre halves.
Not bad. At least it wasn't Stephen Taylor.
What about his handball, man, against Villa, where he's rolling?
Like his big shot.
Brilliant.
Oh, okay, now.
So the 4 in front of the 3, is it like a right mid or like a wing back, or?
No, it's right mid. It's all out. It's all out.
Like forward, right? Just start where you want then, right or left, wherever.
I'll start with left because this was easy as well. Lauren Robert, what a player! What a player! Left foot, always a wand. It was probably the only player I've seen that I could debate a better left foot. Like when I've watched was Morten Gamst Pedersen.
Ooh.
Probably the only player I've ever seen with a better left foot than Lauren Robert in terms of his goals and how he could strike the ball. So that was easy for me, Lauren Robert.
Seen a stat on the other day when you played Southampton. Actually, he's still got the record for most direct free kicks in a season.
Mm-hmm.
With 5. Well, Prowse is on 4.
Did you see? Funny you say that, because have you ever seen his free kick against Southampton? That's from about 45 yards out.
I only remember the Liverpool one because
mate, he drills it almost along the floor from about 45 yards out, mate, and it goes in the bottom corner. It's that powerful.
His back heel goal is a favourite of mine. It's like an original scorpion kick. That one where he's like, oh, what a back heel goal that is.
Was it Robert that smashed the ball against Olivier Bernard's?
Yeah, knocked them clean out. Knocked them clean out. Brilliant. But I mean, his 2 goals against Spurs as well. Have you seen them 2 goals that he scores in the same game against Spurs? I mean, honestly, 2 of the best goals you'll see, and it's in the same game against Spurs. He does it. It's unbelievable.
Where did he go?
He went to Portsmouth after us.
Oh, did he play for Portsmouth?
Yeah, I think he only played a couple of games, and then I think he went back to France. But yeah, he went to Portsmouth from us.
Wow, He was good, like.
So you're going to the right, or you're going to go across?
I'll go across. I'll go into me. Yeah. Probably my favourite, apart from Shearer, my favourite ever Newcastle player. And Bill, you'll probably remember this from being a kid, Kieran Dyer. in centre mid. What a player, man! what a player, man! I was a bit different. That was who I had on all my shirts. Obviously, most people had Shearer. I had Kieran Dyer. That was my guy. That I loved Kieran Dyer. I've again on the podcast thing. I've watched his podcast back as well, and he's a nice bloke. He's a funny guy. Probably not when he was younger, from the stories that he tells. Like, but no.
Have you seen that interview of him around going lately when he was at Ipswich as a boy?
No.
He got stopped in the middle of the street
to
discuss the Norwich-Ipswich derby, and the person doing the interview didn't know he played for Ipswich.
Oh, God.
And we're just like, what does it mean? What does it mean for the fans? And he's like, it means a lot. And then, will you be watching on Sunday? And he's like, no, I'll be playing. And they're like, what? And he's like, yeah, I'm first team at Ipswich.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, are you? Can you imagine what on Sunday Newcastle? You'd know it. You'd know exactly who it was.
I know. But he was another one though as well. I think was so unlucky with injuries in his career. I think he would have played for England a lot more if he wasn't hit by injuries. Real good player. Real like he was probably my favourite as a kid growing up. Kieran Dyer, definitely.
He was like in that sort of like 97, 98, the most exciting young English player coming through.
Yeah.
Like obviously aside from Michael Owen, like kind of thing, but like from like lower leagues making the step up, Dyer's reputation was massive. Like,
and then to come, I mean, again, I'm sure you've heard it if you've watched him. Like to come under Bobby Robson, I just think that was the perfect guy for him. Like man management sort of thing as a young lad. Some of the stories he tells about Robson and that man are just absolutely just top draw. All
right, next to him,
my man Johan Cabaye. What a player! What a baller! Tidy as out. Tidy player. Loved the tackle as well, which was my favourite thing. Loved the dirty 50-50 tackle, studs up. Loved
Did he get sent off against us or I just dreamt that?
No, Tiote got sent off against us.
Well, that was every other weekend with Tiote, so that's another thing.
Cabaye got away with stuff all the time.
Because he was
a playmaker. Like, he'd make those challenges and get away with them loads.
Yeah. But that was why, for me, he was so good. Like, he would do the dirty work, but then he'd get the ball and play a beautiful, through ball pass to put someone in. Dead ball specialist, free kicks. I mean, his free kick against Man United was unbelievable. Just really, I was devastated when he left us because he was a real good player. I was even more devastated when he came back and signed for Palace.
I was going to say that. What a weird, like, I know it's probably hard. You can go to PSG and fairly easily, but to like then go to Palace, like,
I know.
That was a bit strange, like.
So that was easy. He was tidy as out, honestly. And when he had that season when we had Demba Ba and Patrick Cissé in front of him, it was frightening. Really was.
But he scored past us, didn't he? In 1-1.
Mm-hmm. He was always one in the derbies where I'd be a bit, oh no.
Yeah. Johan Cabaye, quality.
Nice. So finish off the midfield.
Right side, Nobby Solano.
That's what it would be.
Yeah. That's the ball against us.
Yeah, another easy pick. Another easy pick, to be honest, for me there. Again, just proper tidy, man. Such a good player. Like, even left went to Villa and then signed back for he loved her that much. He still lives in Jesmond, like round the corner. He's a legend, man. When the clubs and that are open, you see him out and stuff on the high street and stuff like that. He's just an absolute legend, man.
What's the crack? Why do South Americans love the Northeast?
I think that's because
it's a cliche, but the passion, like.
That's what I was going to say, mate. That's what I was going to say. I think.
No, but like they still live here. Like Arca still lives in Sunderland. Like,
breathing, man.
So now, popped up with some important goals as well. Nobby Solano, he chipped in with the goals, and again another dead ball specialist. But grafted. He was a proper grafter as well. Real good player. So that's definitely straight in there. Nobby.
Nice.
Scored the winner for you in the first ever derby I went to in a penalty 1-0. win for years at the stadium, like, where we had a goal chalked off in the last minute that shouldn't have been. Still hurts.
Not bad midfield, that's fair. Robert, Dyer, Cabaye, Solano.
That's a good midfield, that.
Anyone nearly make it into that? Genius.
Gary Speed.
Speed.
Straight away was going to be instead of Kieran Dyer for us, only because Dyer was more of an attacking player than a centre mid. I've kind of just put him there to fit him in, if that makes sense. Dyer would actually be playing like a cam or a 10 for me, if you know what I mean. So
who actually is in your cam then?
It's a centre forward role, actually.
Oh, really? Proper Italian. Proper Italian. Is
it? I like it.
It's
role.
It is, and it's and again, it's just because I wanted to fit other people in. It's Craig Bellamy for me.
Oh,
Craig Bellamy straight in there, and probably because he gives me best moment as a Newcastle fan, the Feyenoord goal in the Champions League. I remember watching that in my sitting room, and I was close to tears, man. Honestly, like, you know what I mean. I was honestly close to tears, man. But he was class forward as well. You know, when you're a kid, as well. I was, when I played, I was a forward. So you watching someone like Bellamy play, it's like, it's quality. He was class. He was class for us.
My memory of Bellamy is like, I think that's why I don't like him for it. It's my dad's fault, to be fair. You remember you beat us 2-0? I think it was our 15-point season.
No, it was the 19-point season.
And Bellamy scored after like whatever minute or seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we were shit. But like Connor, your uncle, you know what my dad's like.
Yeah.
He was like dead confident, and I was like, no, like we're rubbish. Like I'm like 12 and I can see we're rubbish. Like, like why are you get confident? And he texts your dad saying nervous. And then, like, Bellamy scored straight away, and your dad just texts back saying, no, not really. Ever since then, that's all that's come in my head when someone mentions Bellamy.
He was, you know what, as well? He was a knob, like, on the pitch, you know what I mean? Which is exactly what, like,
Oh, yeah.
If you've ever heard of what Carragher says about him, it's brilliant. But basically, Carragher's giving loads of shit to Robbie Fowler, saying, you're not making the runs or whatever. And Bellamy turns around and goes, who are you talking to? You can't talk to Robbie Fowler like that, mate. You're shit. There's that at Carragher because he's shouting at Fowler. And he was that. He would get under your skin. Have
you ever heard John Parkin talk about him when he was at Cardiff?
Aye.
He's good.
Yeah, I've seen that. But he was quality, and again, as a youngster when I was growing up, he was banging the goals in. I don't. You probably don't because you're obviously not Newcastle fans, but he had silver Reebok boots that you couldn't get anywhere. And I always wanted them silver Reebok boots, and I just couldn't get them anywhere.
I've read his book. Pretty good, to be fair.
His book's a good read.
After his first season at Newcastle, he won Young Player of the Year, didn't he? Premier League Young Player of the Year after his first season. Man United wanted to sign him after that first year. And Bobby Robson convinced him to stay. But
do that to anyone. Bobby could do that to anyone, couldn't he?
He hates Shearer. They hate each other, don't
they? They hate each other, yeah.
He fell out with Souness, that's why he went on loan to Celtic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Souness is nuts, man. Obviously the Lee Boy Kieran Dyer fight that happened on the Villa.
Yeah.
You ever heard the story about that? Souness literally goes in the changing rooms after, right? And he says, I'm going to go and watch the video, and whoever started the fight, you're fighting me after in the car park. That's literally, whoever started it, I'll see you in the car park after, and we'll have a fight. Imagine your gaffer coming up and saying that.
So I took Bellamy, so then 2 forwards. We may as well just pencil Shearer in now.
Yeah, Shearer's obviously a given. I don't have to say out on him, do I? He was a given. Just again, as a Geordie, obviously growing up, you're number 9. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unmatched. And my other striker. Some people might, not agree with this one, but I went for Demba Ba for me. He was just
I'd agree with you.
That season when we had him, apart from Shearer, that was the best striker I've seen at Newcastle when we had him. Unbelievable. Scored off everything. Hat-tricks, right foot, left foot, header, unplayable. And then we brung obviously CC in the January. I don't know if you remember this, but we brung CC in the January, and he done exactly the same thing.
Right, we remember it.
So they were doing it together, man, and it was just like. But Demba Ba was for me that
he's a better player than Cisse.
He was a leader.
Oh, miles better player. Bar's still playing. I knew, didn't he?
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's what I was going to say. Demba Ba, even when he went to Chelsea, he didn't get much playing time. When he played, he scored. Do you know what I mean? And like he continued to do that. Whereas I think Cisse had a really good run for us at the start, and then really kind of died off. We sold him. Whereas I think for us, Demba Ba I was so gutted when we sold him, obviously, but Demba Ba was quality for us. That goal against Man United that comes over his shoulder and he hits on the volley.
Yeah,
goes like over the here in the top corner. Just quality, man. He's even scored free kicks. You know what I mean? Like he scored free kicks. It's like he was just a real good player. So I had Shearer alongside Demba.
The whole crack with Demba Ba was a bit mad around that time because like you signed him in the summer. 6 months prior, Stoke tried to sign him and then said his knees were absolutely
failed his medical, didn't he?
Failed his medical. Then West Ham signed him. And he like had a good run with West Ham for like 10 games or something.
Yeah.
We got done for tapping him up on the last game of the season, and then Newcastle went and signed him.
Okay, he scored a match against Stoke, didn't he? Because of a fuming.
He was one of them as well. Like, like the position we're in now. If we had a Demba Ba, I think we'd be in a lot of better position. If you know what I mean. Like, he was one of them sort of strikers. I think you will guarantee goals with him.
And scoring a goal out of nothing as well. That's such like That's the difference between a good striker and like a really like top quality striker is being able to score from nothing.
And like right foot, left foot header, like he could do anything, and he was physical, but he was quick. It was like he had a lot really. So I that would be my front two, Shearer and Demba.
Like it.
Decent team, to be fair. Just want to run through it quickly, just like if you're reading the team sheet out, so people get the full thing.
Yeah. So me,
yeah.
So in net, Shea Given.
Yeah.
My three centre halves, I went Woodgate, Colaccini, and Nick Ostabizas.
Yeah.
I went four across midfield. So I went Lauren Robert on the left, Kieran Dyer and Johan Kabay in the middle, with Nobby Solano on the right side. I then played like a centre forward behind the two strikers as Craig Bellamy. And then my two strikers would be Alan Shearer and Demba Ba.
Nice. Decent team, to be fair.
And obviously in charge was the easiest question all day. Obviously Bobby Robson in charge.
Aye, great man.
Yeah, definitely.
Aye. No, John Carver wasn't getting a look, and even though he is the best coach in the Premier League.
Wow,
nice. I spot on that. So ends our chat about Newcastle. Even though it was Newcastle, I actually quite enjoyed it.
It's nice to see how the other half live.
Yeah.
Good crack. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Cheers, lads. Anytime.
Yeah, we'll do a few quick fire questions. It's a new segment I do, lads. Connor, you'll have heard it before on All the Smoke. I'm just stealing it because no one in England does it.
Cool.
So, any player you want, doesn't have to be Newcastle. Don't have to give us any reasons. 5-a-side team, one keeper, 4 outfield.
Oh, just without thinking.
Yeah, just bang them out.
Oh, Buffon, Maldini, Keane.
You're not a guess man.
Oh, is it me?
I just wanted them.
No, just Connor.
Oh, right.
Sorry.
Right. So what? 5-a-side team, like ever, like can play anyone sort of thing.
Yeah, one just 5-a-side game. You're rocking up to your local Astro on a Monday night.
Right. So in net, why am I stuck already? In net, I've got to go probably Iker Casillas,
Nice.
Probably
4 outfield players.
4 outfield.
I'm gonna start pressing you for time.
I'll go Ronaldo, R9, original Ronaldo.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd go Zidane.
Nice.
I'd go Maldini.
Nice.
And then, you know what? Who else can I fit?
Got a bit of everything in there, to be fair.
I know that's what I'm thinking. The last one would be a bit of a maverick. Someone like Gaza.
Just a matter of nothing.
Just something out of the note, yeah. Just a bit of magic and maverick. You know what I mean? You need something like that in the dressing room.
Turning up late, not paying his subs.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh, that guy's like.
Yeah.
And then last one, obviously, we've heard it before. 5 dinner guests, dead or alive, just for a general conversation.
5 dinner guests dead or alive. Muhammad Ali
Nice.
will be my first one. LeBron James.
Oh, nice.
Kobe. Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe Bean. Kobe Bean. Bobby Robson. Definitely be a good one.
Yep.
And the last one. That's tough. That last one. I don't even know. I'm stuck again. You know what I'm going to do? Just for the crack, I'm going to go Gaza again.
Why not?
Between Gaza around the dinner table with them.
Bobby Robson would have to keep him in check. Embarrass him in front of Kobe Bryant, LeBron James.
I reckon LeBron would just pick him up and snap him in half like that.
Sport quality, that's it then.
Right.
Like I say, thanks for coming on.
Aye, cheers, man.
We don't know when it'll go out, but we've got a few in the bank. So
Need bother, lads. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time, guys.
I know worries.
Take care, lads. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
How's the bacon, did you say?
It's Duta. Oh, what a fantastic hit!
Roy Keane on Haaland. Here's Sancho.